Hello friends, this is Ashirwad here, and in this video we are going to discuss how to write conditional statements in Java using if-else statement. So let us begin. The first thing that I'm going to show you is how does it look like. Okay, so on your screen you can see that I have written if, and inside the brackets I have written a condition. Okay, so this since this is a condition, it will have only two possible outputs or results. One is true and other one is false. And here I have opened the curly bracket to open the section of this if block, and here I have closed it. So the thing is, whatever you write inside these curly brackets will execute only when the condition which you have given here is true. And if this condition is false, these statements or whatever you write here will simply not execute. So this is the simplest form of how can we put condition. Let us see this thing with the help of an example in NetBeans. So this is a program, a very simple program I'm going to develop. Let a number n be 10. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check whether this number n is greater than 100 or not. So since this is a condition, I have to use if, and inside the bracket what should be my condition? N greater than 100. So I hope this thing is clear to you. This is a condition which is going to be either true or false. So we have opened two curly brackets to specify the area of this if condition block, and I simply write a message system.out.println greater than 100. Okay, so now I am going to run this program, and you can predict the output of this program. And in fact there should not be any output on the output screen. Let us see. I have executed the program, and see, it displays nothing here on the output screen. This happened because the condition which we had given here is false, because n having value 10 is not greater than 100. So what the compiler has done here is it has simply skipped the whole block, this block. Okay, now I am going to make some changes here. Let this value of n be 1000. Now when I run the program, it should display the this message greater than 100, because the given condition is now true. So let us run it, and as you can see, it displays the message here as greater than 100. So this is the basic concept of putting if conditions in any program. Now there is one more format. Let me actually show you. And as you can see, in this format I have used the else block along with the if condition. Now the concept is, if the condition is true, of course these statements will execute, and if the condition is false, the compiler will directly jump to this else block, and it will execute whatever you write inside this block of else. Okay, in short, you can say the else block will execute only when the if condition to which it belongs is false. Okay, so let us try out this one using a program. So this is NetBeans, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an else block here. Now this thing simply shows a message which is simply not greater than 100. So what happens if I put the value 10 in n? Okay, what do you think, which message should appear? Of course the this one which says, I'm so sorry, it is system.out, system.out. okay, fine. Now when you run this program, now it should display this not greater than 100 message. As you know, the condition is false. Let us check it. So now it says not greater than 100, and if you write a value which is greater than 100, it should display this message as it was happening earlier, like this. So I hope this if condition and else block is clear to you. You can simply understand that every else block must have an if condition, or in other words you can say else block is optional. Okay, it's not a compulsion for every if condition. You may want to put else block or you may not want to put else block. It completely depends on the requirement of your program. Okay, so now that is there is a third format as well, which looks like this. Okay, now in the first look it looks like as if I have mixed up many conditions here. In fact I have, but the way this structure is working must be understood clearly. Okay, so what is happening here is, first of all the compiler checks this condition 1, and if this condition 1 is true, these statements will execute. And since the condition was true, it will not go to this else block, and since it does not go to this else block, whatever is written after this else block will be skipped. Okay, it has no sense whatsoever. Okay, but when this if condition is false, it will jump to this else block, and what it does here, it checks another condition. But remember guys, this condition 2 will be checked only if the condition 1 is false. Okay, this is the point here. So if this condition 2 is true, then these statements will execute, and of course if this if condition is false, then this else block will execute. So what I have done here is I have mixed two conditions here. First is this, and this whole thing is the else block. In fact, this much here is the else block of this if condition, but in this else block I have put another if condition which will be checked only when the first condition is false. So this entire second condition depends on the first condition. Okay, so this type of structure is useful in certain type of programs. So let me show it with the help of an example in NetBeans. So I'm going to make a very simple program which checks which number is greater between two numbers. So let me take two numbers as 10 and 20. Okay, now remember these two values can be any values. Of course you can ask these values from user. So let us do it. If n1 is greater than n2, what message you have to display? System dot out dot println n1 is greater, and if it is not the case, then check if n2 is greater than n1. And here you can display a message saying n2 is greater. So it looks like this program is complete, but there is one more possibility. That is, the two numbers can also be equal to each other. So we can put an else block here, which actually belongs to this if condition. Okay, and here you can simply write system dot out dot println equal numbers. Now let us run this program and see every output. Okay, so when I run this program at first time, what should be the output? As you know, we have 10 and 20. So 20 is greater than 10, so it says n2 is greater. Now if I write 100 here in n1, it should say n1 is greater. How? Because the if condition is true. And if I put equal numbers in both the numbers, then it should display equal numbers. So the working of this thing should be clear to you. Let me clear it one more time. If n1 is greater than n2, it will display n1 is greater and it will not go here. Okay, because this is the else part, and else part only executes when the if part is false or if condition is false. Okay. Second case, when n2 is greater, this block will be skipped and it will come here and it will check this condition, of course, and if n2 is greater, it will display this message. Now in that case, this else block will not execute because this condition was true. Sorry. The next thing is when the both numbers are equal, which is the case right now, this condition is false. It comes here and checks this condition, which is again false, and then it comes here and it says equal numbers. Okay, in short, you can say if n1 is not greater than n2 and n2 is not greater than n1, this means that both numbers are equal. So this is how this if condition along with the else block works in Java programming. In the upcoming lectures, we'll be discussing more complex structures and some interesting programs based on the same topic. So I hope you have understood all the concepts well. Thank you so much for watching. Do like and subscribe.